wins. This is our agenda, and you have to bear with me because there's lots of football puns. The campus challenge is inspired by Friday Night Lights, campus rivalries, football. So that's the theme of this presentation as well. Our play or the agenda is up on the screen. I first want to tell you a little bit more about me and SODA, and then I want to get to know a little bit about the crowd. Then I'll give you an overview of the campus challenge and our results, and then I want to tell you about our plans for 2024. So there are two full-time staff at SODA. I am one of them. I'm Nicole. I'm the program director. Two things that I do at SODA is lead the entire national organization as well as national partnerships. My journey with SODA began 9 years ago now when I was a student at Washington University in St. Louis. That's where the first ever SODA chapter was. And I became the program director 3 years ago. The other full-time staff is Sophia. Sophia, give everybody a wave. Sophia is our engagement manager, and she mentors our students and helps our OPO support our students as well. So chances are she's your point of contact, so I wanted you to know who she was. This is our mission statement at SODA. SODA stands for Student Oriented Donation Advocates, and what this mission statement really means in practice is we help students educate and register their peers through chapters and one-off events. Our chapters are really our bread and butter and probably the reason why you know us if you're familiar with SODA. And we are on the journey to start 100 chapters by the end of 2025. And we have less than 20 left, so I think we're going to be there before we know it. But the reason why we want 100 chapters is because 100 chapters means more student advocates, which in turn means more people educated and registered and more lives saved, because that's what we're all here for, right? This is aligned, this goal is aligned with the AOPO's 50,000 transplant goal, because that goal is not going to be able to be achieved without the hard work of everybody in this room, of course, but advocates as well. So we're very glad to be here at the annual meeting again, and very proud that they were our presenting sponsors for the Campus Challenge. So like I said, I want to get to know the crowd a little bit more because you're all my teammates today. So give me a hand raise. Well, first I want to know what type of organization the crowd is from. So give me a hand raise if you're from an OPO. It's most people in the room, I would have guessed that. Raise your hand if you're from a Donate Like state team. Wonderful, good to see that representation as well. Raise your hand if you're from an eye or tissue bank. Good. Good to see that representation as well. And then raise your hand if you're from another type of group in the organ donation community, maybe like SODA, that's a national nonprofit. Good to see another national nonprofit over here. Well, great. I know that campus challenges are not a novel idea. We did not invent this, and a lot of other organizations have done this in the past. So raise your hand if your organization has hosted a campus challenge. Okay, I have some specific questions just for those people that raised their hands just now. I want to know which age group you engaged. Did you engage high school students?
College.
College, okay. Wonderful. And what region did you engage in? Was it just your service area? Was it your state? Okay. That's what I kind of expected. From the campus challenges that I've seen in the past, I usually see them OPO or Donate Like state team hosted, usually high school or college, not usually both, and in a service area or a state. For SODA's campus challenge, we had a few different goals, and we wanted to switch things up a little bit. One of the first goals that we had is we wanted to make sure it was a national competition. And the reason why we did this is because we wanted to engage a lot of students. And we saw an opportunity to engage students we've never engaged before. If you remember that slide that I just showed in the chapter map, you probably saw that there was a lot of Northeast chapters, and Midwest chapters, and not so many in the West. And so we were hoping to up that engagement for this campus challenge. We also wanted to engage high school, college, and graduate school students because that's SODA's general target audience every single day. And this type of group, or these groups, are really magical because they are change makers and influencers. They can become lifelong organ, eye, and tissue donation advocates, and they also can influence end-of-life decisions for their families. So they need to know about organ donation, of course, for themselves, and they decide to register, but for their families as well. Also, it's really cool because they're considering their future careers, and we're reaching them at a great time where they're trying to decide what they want to do with their life. So if they're introduced to organ, eye, and tissue donation, maybe maybe one day they'll go into the donation and transplantation field and we can work alongside them to save lives in a professional setting. We also wanted to engage OPOs and other partners in the Campus Challenge because partnerships are so key to SOTA's work in general. It's a big value of ours, and sometimes we'll say 1 + 1 = 3. Obviously, that's not mathematically correct, but what it really means is that working together can be more efficient and have a greater impact. And then I would be remiss not to say that, of course, we want to save lives for this Campus Challenge. To make these goals possible, we gathered a really wonderful campus challenge committee to help us plan. It was made up of Sophia and me, and then 3 other amazing individuals. The first individual that we engaged is Kim Charles. She began her career at Indiana Network and then made her way all the way up to executive director at Donate Like Texas, which is again very fitting because we're in Texas today. And she is a board member at SOTA. Logan also once worked for Indiana Donor Network, but now is a consultant to OPOs to help them communicate with foreigners. And then last, but certainly not least, is Craig. Craig leads a foundation that supports organ donation-related causes. And he's a big supporter of CORE. I know we have some CORE people in the crowd. He helped plan CORE's Campus Challenge, and he actually brought this idea to us in hopes that we can bring it to a national scale. To achieve these goals, this is a game plan we came up with. The first step was for students who wanted to participate to register. And I know this seems redundant or tedious that they had to register, but we did this very purposely. The first reason why we wanted students to register was because in case they weren't part of the chapter, we could send them information about SOTA and encourage them to be part of the chapter. The other reason why was so that we could let OPOs know if there were students in their service area that were participating. So that means if students participated this past year, you should have got an email from Sophia letting you know, or our point of contact at SOTA, whoever that is. From there, students would have access to our student resources. And here are our student resources. They're available to any student that is involved with SOTA, whether it's the Campus Challenge, our chapter program, or an event program. And the key thing I wanted to share about these student resources is that they're free to our students. We do this because we know students have limited resources, and we don't want them fundraising for hosting events because we want them focused on what they do best, which is peer-to-peer education and registration. Those resources would then go on to help the students earn points from education and registration activities. Here are a few examples of point earning activities from the Campus Challenge. This is not an exhaustive list. We have a lot more different activities, but I wanted to highlight a few. The first one is points for starting a new chapter, whether that's the team themselves becoming a new chapter or referring a new chapter. That is in line with our 100 chapter goal. We really saw this as a way to start some new chapters. And then we also had some OPO specific point earning activities because OPOs are so important to us on a day-to-day basis. They provide education or donation education through their volunteer training program to all of our students, and they act as an in-person local contact for our students. So we definitely wanted our students to know OPOs to be engaged with them. This session is called Remember to Like, Follow, and Subscribe. So I definitely wanted to talk about our social media point earning activities as well. And these are important to us because we know students are on platforms like TikTok and Instagram a lot. And these social media activities play a pretty important role in the end. West Virginia University, for example, hosted an Instagram event that was a giveaway that encouraged students to repost facts about organ donation. And then our high school champions won because of the points they scored on social media. So they created a few TikTok videos that saw over 1,000 views on some of them, which was really great. That was like incredible reach and engagement that should be celebrated. And this is really proof to say that social media is important and powerful when engaging students. I'm sure you already know this, but the proof is in the pudding. Then we offered some very exciting prizes to the winners. We offered $500 cash prizes to the high school team, the college team, and the graduate school team with the most points in those activities I just shared. And we've never really done cash prizes before at SOTA. If we keep that funding, it's usually tied to an event idea. But we figured, who doesn't want $500 to do something fun with? And then we gave sweatshirts to the team that registered the most donors. And every single semester, our students tell us they want sweatshirts. And so we knew this would motivate them. And that's a tip for you to take home if you want to engage students. The sweatshirt investment might be worth it. And then not on the screen is trophies. We gave trophies to all these winning teams as well. So the exciting part is actually the teams who won. The high school champions were Warsaw Community High School in Indiana, so thank you to Indiana Donor Network for supporting them. The college champions and the team that registered the most donors was the University of Alabama, so big thank you to Abby at Legacy of Hope for supporting these amazing students. And then last but certainly not least was our graduate school champions, the University of Nevada, Reno School of Medicine, that are supported by Donor Network West. There's actually a lot more to celebrate than just these 3 winning teams. One thing that we really celebrated was the fact that we started 2 new chapters because of this campus challenge. So that means 2 teams that weren't SOTA chapters turned into SOTA chapters either during the campus challenge or after the campus challenge. Those schools were Pawtucket Regional High School in the England Donor Services Service area and Warwick High School with Lifeline Health. And then the power of students was truly demonstrated through the education and registration numbers we saw throughout the campus challenge. To put things in perspective, SOTA in the past 10 years has educated 150,000 people and registered 3,500 people. So this is a really big proportion, especially when we're thinking about just a few months that the campus challenge lasted. One thing that we didn't quite expect was the greater impact of the campus challenge on the semester as a whole. So every single semester we ask our students how many people do they educate and how many people do they register. So on the left-hand side is spring 2023, which is the semester before the campus challenge, and the column on the right-hand side is fall 2023, which is the semester before the campus challenge. And you can see that increase for our impact numbers was huge, and there was only 5 new chapters between spring 2023 and fall 2023. So this really was thanks to the campus challenge. This is the total number of people educated per semester. And then here's the average number of people our chapters have registered. And this really does put that in perspective, that it is thanks to the campus challenge that our impact number tripled. We saw similar patterns for our registration numbers as well. So here's the total for that. And the average per chapter. I also wanted to share our return on investment. We paid $1,500 for cash prizes, $500 in social media ads, $450 on flyers for OPOs to share with students in their service area, $640 on sweatshirts, and $115 on trophies, and that adds up to just over $3,200, which means it only cost 15 cents to educate or register someone during this challenge, which is hard to argue with that impact. We would like to have the same really exciting impact again in 2024. So you heard it here first. We're hosting the Campus Challenge again this fall. And we would love for all of you to be a part of it. If you're part of it, you'll see a lot of benefits. And for time's sake, I don't want to go into all of these benefits, but I did want to highlight the first benefit, which is boost your youth education and registration rates. And there's some magic behind this. The first piece of magic is the fact that it's student-led initiatives that are boosting these rates. That means your team will not have to plan and execute the programming yourself. And the other magic behind this is that it's peer-to-peer education registration, which is just simply more powerful. One other thing that I wanted to note is that SOTA will always share the education and registration numbers from the schools that SOTA is in your service area any time of the year, whether it's campus challenge or just spring semester or fall semester. So feel free to reach out to Sophia if you ever want those numbers. We are happy to share them so that you can celebrate your team or publish them in impact reports. And then I mentioned in our budget that we gave flyers to every single OPO last year to promote the campus challenge. So if you'd like those campus flyers this year, feel free to fill out this form or go to sotonational.org/AOPO, which is pretty easy to remember, and we will let you know when those flyers are ready so you can request them this year. And then before I turn it over to Holly, I wanted to thank our partners for the Campus Challenge. Of course, we're so grateful for AOPO for being the presenting sponsors of our Campus Challenge, but there were some other really great groups that made the Campus Challenge possible, including Hearts for Us, Second Chance Fundraising, and so a big thank you to all of our partners for making the Campus Challenge possible. And then a big thank you to all of you for being here to learn a little bit more about SOTA and our Campus Challenge. Here's my email and here's Sophia's email, so if you ever have any questions or want to request those impact numbers, feel free to contact us. Thank you.